if you don't know where to begin, better ask Win.
Shane, very good to see you. Today we get to talk about the one money move that can add years to your retirement nest egg. Let's address the number one fear of most retirees, running out of money. So one way to make your nest egg last longer, figure out how to keep all of it in your pocket as opposed to sharing it with the government. So take a look at this headline from the Wall Street Journal. How can converting your tax deferred accounts to Roth accounts add years to your nest egg?
Well, the single biggest advantage of a Roth, the reason people choose a Roth, is because of the tax advantages that come along with it. Of course, we know that tax-free money goes a lot further in retirement than a taxable dollar does. And if you can convert yourself to tax-free, then all the better. So what a Roth does for you, it allows for all distributions from the account to be tax-free. That's the complete opposite now of a traditional IRA, where that account, a traditional IRA, would be pre-tax and would be taxable to you. So again, money you take from a Roth is tax-free. If you need $10,000, you take $10,000, no tax. An IRA would be, a traditional IRA would be, you take $10,000, but then you just created a tax obligation to go along with that.
Right. So it's less than 10. Good point. So I was surprised to learn this, but Roth Conversions actually saw a 44% jump in 2024. That is probably, of course, because people want to take advantage of today's historically low tax rate. However, President-elect Trump has pledged to extend his 2017 tax cuts. So should we still be considering a conversion?
Well, I think it's always a good idea to get yourself into a tax-free world with your money. And whether or not the Trump tax cuts are extended or even made permanent is still yet to be seen. But I think it's fairly widely believed that even if we do see some continuation of the lower tax brackets that we have now, taxes 10, 20, 30 years from now are still likely to be much higher than they are now. And so if we can get ourselves into a tax-free world now, and let that money grow for the next 20, 30, 40 years completely tax-free, that's really to our advantage. So it's definitely still worth considering. And you can take advantage of these lower current tax brackets to get yourself into the Roth in the first place.
What are some downsides or risks, though, that retirees need to keep in mind if they're considering a Roth conversion?
Well, the biggest downside, I guess, or the biggest barrier to entry is that typically people enter Roths via conversion strategies where you take your 401k, your IRA, and you convert it to a Roth. And when you do that, that conversion triggers tax, right? Because if you move $1,000 of IRA money to $1,000 of Roth money, no problem, but that's a taxable distribution from the traditional IRA, and you have to pay taxes on that at your ordinary income rate. So that's usually the biggest barrier to entry. The other restriction that you have if you just want to contribute straight into a Roth is that there's limits set forth by the IRS, and they're not usually high enough to really make much difference. Right now, I believe there's $7,000 for most folks, and that usually isn't really enough to make a huge difference. And therefore, people look towards converting large chunks, again, of like traditional IRA or 401k type money.
This is, again, why we all should have started in our 20s with those Roth accounts. Shane, this was fun to talk through, and it makes a lot of sense why this can help our money last longer in retirement. So if somebody wants to crunch the numbers with you to consider a conversion, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach us is by phone or online. Our phone number here at the office is 602-456-1928, or visit our website, winstonandcompanies.com.
Great. Shane, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.
Got a plan for your retirement, 'cause you know it's just down the road. But if you don't know where to begin, better ask Win.